Yes, 'twas the day before Christmas, and all here at the Quest, the Hawks host the Chargers in a pre-playoff test. Fans eager for the matchup, Alexander and LT. It's NFL football's holiday gift to you on HD TV. The Seattle weather outside isn't frightful, nor is it particularly delightful, so without any further delay, let them play, let them play, let them play. So we're ready to call it Enberg and Cross. The Seattle Seahawks have won the toss. Now it's up to you to find a way to rhyme Kading and Burleson, Randy Cross, because Kading's going to kick it off, and Nate Burleson down at the goal line. You see some of the smoke clearing away from the pregame pyrotechnics. Rain is falling. So Merry Christmas to all from Seattle, Washington. Rain drizzling down. Nate Kading kicks it off. The Seahawks will get it first. A short kick. Nate Burleson comes up at the 13, 20, 30, and hits a stone wall at the 30-yard line. Tackled by Carlos Polk. Out comes Matt Hasselbeck. His numbers have been affected by a mid-season knee injury. Missed 4 games. But dangerous with his feet as well. The Hawks offensive line anchored by left tackle Walter Jones, named to his 7th Pro Bowl. And Sims, Spencer, Gray, and Locklear complete the front 5. Shaun Alexander, last year's NFL MVP, missed 6 games with a foot fracture this year. He says he feels better right now than any time all season. Hasselbeck hits, and down he goes as Shawne Merriman, on the very first play of the game, goes into his sack dance. That's number 13.5 for Merriman.
Well, Shawne Merriman came back a couple weeks ago from that steroid suspension. He goes right through Sean Locklear, and that to me is a matchup. You're going to see Merriman spend a lot more time on that side of the ball because Walter Jones is the left tackle, and why not take the path of least resistance?
Merriman lining up on the left side. So 2nd and long, 14 for Hasselbeck. He back to throw, sends Alexander in motion, then throws over the middle, and it's complete to Jeremy Stevens, the tight end, and it's close to a first down. Out at the 37, 38-yard line, they'll mark it. The Chargers defense, a 3-4 base. Jacques Césaire starts at left end for Louis Castillo. Jamal Williams, a Pro Bowler at nose tackle. San Diego's 2 outside backers, Merriman and Phillips. They're a terror on quarterbacks with their sack technique. Stephen Cooper starts for Randall Godfrey in the middle, and cornerback Quentin Jammer leads with 4 interceptions. Keel, McCree, Florence complete the Charger secondary. 3rd down and about 1.5 yards. Hasselbeck throws out of the backfield and hit immediately is Mo Morris, who's in on 3rd down for Shaun Alexander, and it would appear Quentin Jammer's tackle will deny a first down. And the punting team comes out for the Seattle Seahawks. We welcome those of you who've seen another exciting Tennessee Titan win, 30-29 over the Buffalo Bills, and it has been for Jeff Fisher's Tennessee Titans an incredible completion of this season.
The kind of business as usual for Vince Young, Dick, picking up right where he left off at Texas last year.
Ryan Plackemeier, the punter in for Seattle. Their first possession has ended on the 3 and out. He drives the ball toward Keenan McCardell, the veteran at the 16 for San Diego. And McCardell nose down to the 25-yard line. 46-yard punt, 9 on the return. And Philip Rivers and the San Diego offense comes on the field, and we wish you all a Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday from Seattle. My partner Randy Cross still working on his Santa Claus look, and there's much at stake indeed. San Diego's won 8 in a row. The Seahawks barely ever lose here at home. They've only lost 5 times their last 31 games.
Well, it's all about San Diego trying to get that home field advantage. Seattle has to find themselves. They almost have to find their soul. They've been a team that's been kind of stumbling and lost the last 2 weeks.
They claim to have the noisiest crowd in the NFL, and there's evidence to prove that. Here's LaDainian Tomlinson, and his first carry is good for only 1 yard as Chuck Darby, the defensive tackle, there to make the play. Philip Rivers in his first full season of NFL action on his way to the Pro Bowl. He admits last week's game, a win against Kansas City, was his. And about a half the length of the football. Lorenzo Neal in front of LaDainian Tomlinson. The Chargers are 11 for 11 this year on 3rd and 1. They tossed him to LT, and he does make the corner after juggling the ball and has a first down at the 38-yard line. So that's 12 for 12 on 3rd and 1 for San Diego on the season.
Well, LT has been such a versatile weapon for the San Diego Chargers that you forget when he gets a single performance like he had against Kansas City, Dick, how dominant he can be in a game, and that was as dominant a performance as he's had all year long.
Look at the records, NFL records, touchdowns, rushing touchdowns, points scored, 8 straight multiple TD games. He gets a first down on that 3rd and 1 to the 37-yard line. Back to Tomlinson, hit in the backfield and dropped. Is it ruled a fumble? Yes. No, they're saying nope, no fumble. It's been marked down. The ground causing the fumble, and it was Lofa Tatupu, the young Pro Bowler from Southern California, who made the hit. And Julian Peterson, just in case, had picked it up and headed toward the end zone.
Well, it was a nice job by John Perry, the side judge. He left no doubt in anybody's mind. He immediately starts pointing to the ground, saying down by contact. He was down. His backside was on the ground before that ball started coming out. That's an excellent call, but how about some beautiful defense by Seattle on that particular play? They've got to find a way to penetrate, because physically the Chargers will outman them.
2nd and long for San Diego as a 3-yard loss on the first down carry by LT. Rivers, first pass. No one open. Finally runs out of time and room, out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Well, that's good coverage by the deep defense of the Seahawks.
But it was smart play by Phillip Rivers. Last week he had some bad plays where he threw a ball in that circumstance, threw the ball back over the middle of the field. It became an interception against Kansas City. It was his worst game as a pro last week, and he was forced into it. He saw some looks. He wasn't familiar. It's part of the progression of a young quarterback, but like you saw on the last play, sometimes just running or throwing it away is the smartest play a quarterback can make.
He said he watched Peyton Manning in the night game and saw how Manning would dink and dunk, take the short yardage, not try to force it. He said, I learned a lot from my mistakes and then watching the pro Manning and how well he operated. Throw down the middle, almost intercepted as Kelly Herndon had his hands on it. And Rivers hits the deck under pressure. It was Tatupu in there to harass the quarterback of the Chargers, and a good defensive stand on the opening San Diego series for this Seattle team.
Well, it's Lofa Tatupu coming from his middle linebacker position, putting the rib buster on Phillip Rivers, hitting him in the perfect place. Actually, that's about the only place you can hit a quarterback these days, is somewhere around his number. Otherwise, it's a penalty.
Mike Cyphers to punt it, averaging just under 42 a kick, hangs it very high. Nate Burleson fields at the 18. Good pressure downfield, and the coverage by Antonio Cromartie, the #1 draft pick of the Chargers this year out of Florida State. Timeout in rainy Seattle. And we're back in Seattle. Dick Enberg with Randy Cross. Pleased you're with us, and Merry Christmas to all on this Christmas Eve day. Raining as usual this time of the year in Seattle. It's a soft rain but steady, and on first down, Sean Alexander with a carry to the 20-yard line and a gain of about 3.
Well, that running game, Dick, inside is going to be so critical, and it sounds funny to say you have to run inside because of the presence of Jamal Williams, but Phillips and Merriman have played so well on the outside. I don't think Seattle can get the edge on this defense. They have to run inside.
2nd and 7. Here comes Phillips off the wing, and they hand off to Alexander. Tripped up at the line of scrimmage, falls for a couple to the 22-yard line. Credit Merriman with a tackle. Well, we were hoping at this point we could really sort out all the playoff picture, but he becomes more confusing with every result, and that's why we've got that staff of researchers and prognosticators back in New York, and at halftime they'll sort out some of the issues, but seems as if with every score more are alive in the playoffs and have fallen off the road. 3rd down and 5.
Better watch out for the Ravens, the way they're playing.
Hasselbeck down the middle, open. DJ Hackett to the 45, the 46-yard line. This young guy out of Colorado in his second season has had 2 terrific games back-to-back. 2 ago against Arizona, 4 catches for 104, a career high. Came back in the last game against San Francisco with 8 catches. 24 on this reception out to the 46-yard line. Seeing more and more duty, Bobby Ingram, the veteran, missing much of this year with a thyroid problem. There's Alexander caught by an ankle, and down he goes as Terrence Keel came up from safety to make the tackle. And speaking of results and highlights, we'll be busy. Let's go to New York right now.
Hey, Dick, so the Rams stay in the playoff hunt here in overtime against Washington. Steven Jackson burst 21 yards to pay dirt. Jackson accounted for 252 total yards for the Rams. They win it. Stay in the picture. Dick and Randy.
Thank you, JB. We'll be back with you shortly. Here's Alexander plowing his way through tacklers all the way to the 40-yard line, and a first down, Seattle. Drayton Florence made the tackle, but Alexander running through several arm tackles.
Follow Max Strong or Lorenzo Neal for the Chargers. They will take you to the ball. Nice job on the kick-out block by Max Strong, and excellent job by Alexander following those blockers and in between the tackles. That's where you have to run on this San Diego defense.
13 yards for Alexander. That makes 64 straight games he's had a run of 10 yards or more, extending his NFL record. Caught from behind is Hasselbeck, and he can't get rid of it at the 45-yard line. Merriman has his second sack with help from Igor Olshansky, the defensive end.
Well, that's all about one thing to me. It's going to be protection. You had better block Sean Merriman with somebody besides a guard trying to come out. If you've got a guard trying to pop out, you were going about it the wrong way against Sean Merriman. Chris Spencer, the center, actually was the guy coming out there. You flat can't do that to Merriman. If you do that, you're going to get your quarterback absolutely crushed.
Hasselbeck doing a good job of hanging on the ball, getting hit from behind. So now second down and 15. Under pressure. Now he fires to this side, complete at the 35-yard line. Keel makes the hit on Stevens, but a pickup of 10 on the play. It'll be third down and 5. Okay, Randy, your Christmas crosstalk.
Well, naughty or nice for the Seahawks. Which team shows up? You know, are you motivated? Do you want to be a divisional winner? And for San Diego, getting that home field advantage and getting that ability to host every game from here on out to the Super Bowl in Miami is a critical thing for this organization.
And with Baltimore winning again today, the Ravens breathing down the Chargers' neck underneath. The throw is intercepted on the carom, and it goes to Clinton Hart, and Hart tackled at the 29-yard line. Hart, the 5th defensive back, the safety from Central Florida, has his first, make it second interception of the season. And San Diego with the first turnover here in the first quarter. Aerial view of the Cascades, the Evergreen State. Clinton Hart with the interception, his second of the year. The ball was deflected by Donnie Edwards on first down. Fake to LaDainian Tomlinson. Rivers going long. And it is incomplete to Antonio Gates, the tight end, and he was well covered by Marcus Trufant. Mike Holmgren saying Trufant really living up to his first-round draft status on this season.
Well, besides LT, there were a lot of MVPs you could hand out on this Charger team, and I'll tell you, Donnie Edwards is having as good a year as he's had for the Chargers, and here he tips the ball, which then ricochets off Hackett, ends up in Hart's hands, and you give this offense turnovers, they score enough on their own. You don't need to give them extra opportunities.
These fans in Seattle, I don't know if they ever use their seats. They've been standing since the opening kickoff. Rivers, quick throw flag, a false start. It appeared that left tackle Marcus McNeil pulled off the line prematurely. And that is an indication.
False start. Offense number 68. A 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
We said earlier, a lot of stadiums, a lot of fans say they're the noises. Well, here in Seattle, they claim number one, and they've got the statistics to prove it. They led the NFL last year, 24 false starts created here in Seattle, and that is the 22nd this year. Again, best in the league. And another false start, and they'll be even louder.
Part of that's on Philip Rivers, though, Dick. He's got to get that play off.
False start. Offense number 73. 5-yard penalty, and second down.
Number 23, the spirit of the 12th fan here in Seattle, and these fans live up to that incredibly 100% spirit.
Remember about a year ago when there was a little tussle over that whole 12th man thing between Seattle and the Texas A&M Aggies? They're earning it here today.
2nd and 20. No flag. And LT up to the 24-yard line. A gain of about 5. Trufant from the corner over to make the tackle. So far, Tomlinson held in check.
You talk about a young quarterback, Dick, and Philip Rivers. I think a lot of this is on him. It's incumbent upon him to get this offense settled down, get it up to the line of scrimmage crisply, identify the defense, and get off the ball. In this noise, you can't hold your line at the line of scrimmage in their stance.
And of course, both those false starts from the left tackle, who's farthest away from the call. Rivers into the shotgun for the first time. Needs 15 for a first down. Throws deep and incomplete. Vincent Jackson, the closest charge of the ball, well out of bounds. Kelly Herndon, good coverage. So this Seahawk defense on the first 2 San Diego series has been outstanding. And Rivers 0 for 3. LT only 6 yards rushing on 4 tries.
There's young McNeil again at left tackle. He's struggling a little bit, not only in the noise, but now with Peterson. He's struggling to block him. Almost got himself that first holding penalty of the year that we kind of jinxed him on even mentioning. But he's struggling with the noise, and he's struggling with the speed of this defense.
Cyphers to punt. Burleson at the other end. Very high. The spiral turns. Burleson has to drift back, muffs the ball at the 16, and is run out of bounds across the 25 at about the 27-yard line. Matt Wilhelm, new contract from the Chargers this week, made the play. Welcome back. CBS Sportsline has the very latest NFL playoff scenarios and in-depth analysis on all the races. It's all online right now at CBSSportsline.com.
And if you have an extra hour or two, read the playoff scenarios there at Sportsline.com.
That'll take an hour or two. And we're down to the next to last weekend of the regular season. On first down. Straight ahead goes Alexander and draws a defensive crowd after a gain of about 2. Well, Mike Holmgren in his 9th year here, of course, took the Seahawks to the Super Bowl a year ago, and he told us that the last 2 losses at Arizona and then here at home on the Thursday night against San Francisco, he said, were the most difficult 2 games he's ever witnessed as a head man. He said he just didn't know what to do about it. In fact, he got a lot of calls from friends during the week, and he said, I went into a bunker. I told my secretary, I don't want to talk to anybody. Back to Alexander. He'll make you feel better, and he plows his way to the 35, maybe the 36, and has a yard and a half to go for a first down.
You know, Dick, what I think, and I've known Mike since the days back in San Francisco when we were together, I think what really bothers him is he's a control freak, like all coaches are. He's a detail freak. But the problem is it's something he can't control. He's used to being able to fix it. He's used to being able to address it. You can't fix what's in a player's head. If your players decide in the 4th quarter, like the Seahawks did last week, to stop playing, it isn't you, it's them.
It's Alexander straight ahead, and he is dumped on his nose, and it looks as if it's going to be very tight for the first down. Looks he's a little short.
Yeah, it's going to be 4th down.
And Seattle still in control, well in control of their destiny. They are 8-6 atop the AFC West as they go for their 3rd consecutive. If they should win today, a title here in the NFC West.
They'll have one eye on the scoreboard with that San Francisco-Arizona game going on today.
San Francisco suddenly in the picture. Should Seattle lose and San Francisco win, then the 49ers are still with hopes of a playoff spot. Boy, this is going to be tight. It's a first down by the nose of the ball.
I think those orange chains are shorter.
It didn't look as if when they first marked it that was enough, but obviously just did nudge that stick, and Seattle keeps the ball.
It's not Seattle's style, and it's certainly not Mike Holmgren's style, but I really believe you have to shorten the game on the Chargers. You have to run the ball, you have to maintain time of possession, and you've got to limit the number of possessions they get.
Maurice Morris, the backup to Sean Alexander, into the arms of Donnie Edwards after a gain of about 3. Morris had a good season. He's had to play a lot because of the 6 games missed by Alexander with that foot fracture, and he's at the 562 mark coming in
with no touchdowns. That's one of those. That's one of those really an oddity.
How about Seattle all season long? 5 rushing touchdowns. Only 2 in the last 11 games. Quick throw to Deion Branch. The ex-New England Patriot has a first down at the 49 with his initial catch.
And that's what you have to do against this defense of San Diego, is get into a rhythm and protect. Because if you can, you've got the receivers. Hackett's been hot. Branch can get open quickly. He's a very quick receiver. Stevens has to learn how to catch the ball again, but you throw it quick, you can do it.
Back to Alexander, and he runs into some solid resistance at the Charger 49-yard line as Marlon McCree comes up from secondary, the former Carolina Panther.
Well, Dick, here's what you were talking about, the lack of rushing touchdowns. It's all on one guy. You know, Sean Alexander broke that bone in his foot, in the opener against Detroit, and hobbled around for a couple weeks.
And then missed 6. He played 3 games and then missed 6.
And you don't have to look any further than that, but I think the major blow to this team was losing Hutchinson, the guard, in free agency. That crushed it.
Hutchinson going to Minnesota, 2nd and 8. Good protection for Hasselbeck this time, so he finds an open man, Hackett, underneath at the 44. It'll be 2 or 3 yards shy of a first down. Sean Phillips there to make the tackle. A look at the AFC, and the Chargers benefit by the loss by Indianapolis today to Houston. There's an upset, and San Diego now assured of a bye in the first week with that result. And you have to you keep your fingers crossed when you make any solid definitive statement about the playoffs, because as soon as you say one thing, someone comes with another
version.
It is hornet's nest. Max Strong now is the solo back, the fullback. Hackett in motion on 3rd down and a long 2. Hackett, plenty of time underneath, almost intercepted. It was Donnie Edwards, who has 27 in his outstanding career, and he had it read all the way as the pass intended for Max Strong.
You know, Donnie Edwards is off to another nice start, as is his wont. He's a guy that will do these kind of things. Watch him react and just read Hasselbeck. And anticipating he's going to try to dump it off. You mentioned it, Dick, about Peyton Manning last week, dumping it off, and you know, teams are doing that now, especially against this Charger football team. They're not taking the shots down the field because they get your quarterback whacked.
Here's Plaquemire. He puts that nose down, kicks that backward spinner, and a good kick. It'll kick off the sidelines at about the 7-yard line. Let's see where they mark it. Right at the 7 is where Philip Rivers will take over. The battle of field position being won by Seattle. Just seconds left in the opening quarter, and here comes the noise again as Rivers sets up shop at his own 7-yard line. Throws from his end zone, incomplete. Not even close to Lorenzo Neal as it skips low and away. Lofa Tatupu there to cover, and for Rivers in San Diego, no yards passing in the quarter, 2 punts and 1 first down. You can get the latest scores, stats, highlights from around the league on your mobile phone, fans. You can access it all by going to NFL.com, clicking on NFL Mobile.
Well, Rivers rushed his decision there, Dick. He never set his feet, and now here comes the noise with a decibel meter.
It's the first time this year you can feel the vibration in our earphones. LT wrestled down at the 10-yard line by Michael Boulware, and Boulware moved into the starting lineup after giving way to Jordan Babineau, and Boulware bigger safety, and he's zeroing in on LT. End of the quarter, no score. We'll return to Seattle after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Our good-looking crew. CBS here in Seattle. How come we didn't make that picture? They didn't invite us to be in the team picture.
You know, it's one of the things about making the big bucks. I guess you got to stay upstairs. They don't let us down on the field.
Yeah, they're the ones that make it all click, and in the rain in Seattle, providing you the pictures and the sound of these Seattle fans. And here it comes again, 3rd and 7 as we open the second quarter. Rivers just does elude the rush and then throws the ball away. And this Seattle defense has totally stymied the Chargers, the highest scoring team in the NFL. Lucky to get a first down. They're 0 for 5 passing. They have only 1 first down in the game.
Watch the pocket collapse. Lofatutupu coming on a blitz. Peterson's coming on a blitz, bringing the whole group. And Philip Rivers is very uncomfortable. He hasn't been able to just set his feet and throw in a couple of series.
Good block by LT to stop Rocky Bernard, who was coming free on Rivers. Here's the kick from Cyphers, a wobbler, and it's short. Up comes Burleson to field at the 46, eludes 1, 40. Flag down, and so is Burleson at the 38-yard line. And we'll check the penalty. Usually on kicks, it's a block in the back.
It's against Seattle, absolutely.
Which will take away excellent field position. Without the penalty, they'd be at the San Diego 38.
I think Stephen Cooper got pushed in the back. 54, the linebacker for the Chargers.
2 fouls on the play. Illegal block in the back. Number 50 of the return team. That penalty is declined. Illegal block in the back. Number 27 of the return team. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Babineau saying, why are you picking on me? Why not give it to Laurie? No score early in the second quarter. Yes, sir, Santa. The fans here want another chance at a Super Bowl. The facts, however, are not convincing, and it's a handoff to Alexander, and Olshansky, the third-year defensive end from Oregon, born in Russia, makes that tackle. Let's go to JB.
Hey, Dick and Randy, as you well know, on the NFC side of the house, San Francisco still with postseason hopes, but trailing here after Marcel Ship of Arizona takes it 5 yards to pay dirt. Arizona on top, 10-3 in the second. Dick Enberg, Randy Cross.
All right, JB, and happy holidays to you guys in the studio. I'm going to follow Shannon Sharpe's advice. I encourage Randy to give me the gift that he recommends. Hasselbeck under pressure, and he's sacked for the 3rd time in the game. And who gets this one? It's Jacques Césaire, his 3rd and a half of the year. Yeah, I'm going to have Shannon's idea. Randy, give me green. That's money. It fits well. James?
Hey, Dick, we've learned a lot from Shannon here in the studio. Look here, Rudy Johnson getting it done on the ground. Cincinnati's Johnson, second most rushing touchdown in Bengals history with 45. They're up on Denver 7-0. Dick and Randy.
Yeah, how was Shannon Sharpe said he follows his granddad's advice. You know, give money because green's a good color and it always fits. Here's Hasselbeck, 3rd and very long, and he goes long and wide open at the 50 and almost a first down to Bobby Ingram. Ingram, who missed 9 games this year with a thyroid condition and just coming back into shape. Such a valuable, especially 3rd down receiver throughout his 11-year career.
Well, this West Coast style offense that Seattle runs, Dick, is so much based in timing. You see that foot going into the ground for Hasselbeck. That ball's coming out right after that foot hits. That's what you have to do against this defense. You cannot sit in that pocket and bounce around, or Merriman and company will absolutely drill you. That's a great little plus now for Seattle. They've got that one in their hip pocket.
20 yards on the play, but short of the first down. And here's the kick again by Plaquemire. McCardell waving for the fair catch, and he's run into it at the 10-yard line, and a flag with it. It was incidental by Celestine, but you can't hit a man when he's calling for the fair catch. Got to give him room. The ball drifted right toward Celestine. He just couldn't avoid the contact.
Remember, there's no such thing as that old halo thing anymore, so that wasn't the fact. But you can't go up there and try to take it away from the guy that's called the fair catch.
Prior to the catch, personal foul, interference with the opportunity to make the catch. Number 40, the kicking team.
That's a tough
15-yard penalty. First down.
Yeah, Celestine just got caught with the proverbial hand in the cookie jar. light drizzle continues to fall here at Quest Stadium in downtown Seattle. Philip Rivers and the Chargers start at the 25. They get the breakdown, the 15-yard penalty. LT breaks out of one tackle. He's to the 30, the 31, and with that carry moves over the 9,000 career rushing mark. He's the first in NFL history to do it in his first 6 seasons.
Yeah, he'll be the first one to tell you, with all the records, all the accolades that he's accomplished, it's a lot about the guys around him. It's about Rivers. It's about that offensive line. But it's especially about Lorenzo Neal, number 41, his fullback. He couldn't have accomplished the numbers he's accomplished without Lorenzo Neal.
That's why Neal is going to the Pro Bowl with Tomlinson, just as Max Strong is the blocker for Sean Alexander. 2nd and 4. And he follows Neal here, who makes a fine block on the corner. And LT tripped 1 yard shy of the first down by Leroy Hill. He never trips up. Let's go to JB in New York.
Hey, Dick and Randy, Cardinals looking to make it 4 straight over the Niners. This time, Matt Leinart, look at there, taking his time, going through all the reads, finally nailing Larry Johnson with that 6-yard strike. 17-3 Cardinals over the Niners. Back to Dick and Randy.
Isn't it interesting how teams have their nemesis? 49ers beat the Seattle team twice this year, home and away.
So the Niner fans are saying, oh yeah, sure, Arizona now overachieved.
That's Neal on 3rd and 1, and he appears to be across that yellow line for the first down. So that makes 2 for 2 today on 3rd and 1 situations they convert, and 13 for 13 for the season. Now here's Tomlinson now at 9,006 yards, and there are the others to rush through their first 6 seasons in the league, all flirting over the 8,000 mark, and Smith almost 9,000. But LT the first to accomplish it as his numbers continue to grow, although minute for his season on this day in Seattle. On first down, play action, LT. Throw incomplete to Jackson, who came back to meet his quarterback. And just as he was against Kansas City, Philip Rivers seems out of sorts with his receivers today. It's the bowl season, folks, and that means holidays here on CBS. Friday at 2 Eastern. The Brute Sun Bowl features Missouri and Oregon State. And then on New Year's Day at 1 Eastern, the Toyota Gator Bowl, West Virginia and Georgia Tech. Celebrate the bowl season with us on CBS.
Gator Bowl will be a lot of offense, Dick. I don't think either one of those teams can play defense.
Rivers yet to complete a pass in this first half with 10 and a half left in the second quarter. He's 0 for 6. LT to the left. There's that straight arm, but he doesn't quite extricate himself from Marcus Trufant, who came up from the corner, and that denied what could have been a very long gain, as it was really a one-on-one situation, LT against the cornerback.
Dick, you notice that Lorenzo Neal's moving around a lot. I think a lot of that is based on they want to show him a little motion. They're trying to get that defensive backfield of Seattle, you know, especially the safeties, to get a little nosy on the run and start bringing them up so they can get that ball deep down the field, or specifically down the middle of the field to Antonio Gates.
A credit Trufant with an excellent open field tackle to bring down LT after a gain of 6. 3rd down. Rivers out of the backfield. Nope, incomplete. LT reaching out for, juggled, and then he looked up and he saw some sea green uniforms about to close in. One of them, Kelly Jennings. 0 for 7 Rivers.
Well, just a little bit overthrown, but this is the pass that LT should have caught. It's a little low, but he takes that sneak peek up. You know, Bryce Fisher was putting some pressure on Philip Rivers, but it wasn't so much that it interrupted the play. That was just a flat drop by LT.
Well, San Diego on that last possession does improve its field position to the 42, but now gives it up on Cypher's punt. Burleson, fair catch at the 18-yard line. 40 yards on the punt, no return. Philip Rivers looking for that first completed pass in a scoreless game in Seattle. Pilot's view of the Puget Sound. Welcome back to Seattle, Washington. We've got a scoreless game. Chargers with an 8-game winning streak. Seahawks have lost their last 2 first-place teams in action. Lots of playoff considerations. Hasselbeck starts at the 18. Play action. Running away from Merriman. He better hurry. Now he throws incomplete and just throws it out of bounds. And he could hear the breathing of Merriman pounding behind him.
Here he could feel the hot breath on the back of his neck. Merriman's coming off his natural position there at that right outside linebacker position, and if not for that little stumble you saw there about his 4th or 5th step, he'd have run down Hasselbeck before he had a chance to throw that thing away.
Now Strong lines up at fullback to lead Alexander, and here he comes up the middle and runs into big Jamal Williams. Williams, many feel the top nose tackle in the entire NFL. He goes again for the 2nd straight year to Honolulu.
And you're going to see here on this play why he's considered what he is. Here's Jamal Williams right there working against Spencer at center. He's got about 50 pounds on Spencer. They're trying to double team him. So right there, 350 pounds broke through and overcame about 650 pounds.
Strong in the backfield on 3rd down. Hasselbeck under trouble, a flag down, and Hasselbeck is hit for the 4th time. Is that Merriman again? As he had 3 sacks. Cesare was in there as well. He has 1 sack in this first half, and Merriman's celebrating that it was his. Check the flag.
It's going to be Cesare, and it's holding on Walter Jones.
Holding. Offense number 71. Penalties decline. Makes it 4th down.
He flushed him. Merriman flushes him. He beats Walter Jones, the Pro Bowler. Gets underneath him, keeps coming. He flushes him up, and then Cesare gets there for the sack. They might throw him a half a bone.
Half and half, huh?
But Jacques Cesare is the guy they should get the sack.
So the pressure on Hasselbeck has been the outstanding mark for the Chargers. Almost a block as Plaquemire nails one all the way back and over the head of McCardell to the 15-yard line. What a kick! And great coverage, and they're all fumble, and San Diego recovers. Oh my! Drayton Florence able to get back and recover the fumble by McCardell as Plaquemire. The wind is from right to left out of the southeast, and he got that one up in the O-zone for a 72-yard punt. And for Seattle, Plaquemire, who grew up in the San Diego area in the avocado country, that's his longest kick as a pro.
How did Carlos Polk not block that punt? That went right between his arms. I mean, there's no other explanation. Plaquemire gave it a little extra goose, but that should have been blocked, and that was a fumble.
Carlos Polk shaking his head, wondering, how did I not block that punt?
Well, Carlos Polk is coming right here, right over Derek Rackley. And, I mean, he bones right through the center. Rackley's the most shot guy in the world because he knows he's not supposed to be taking that kind of hit.
And then Ryan Plaquemire kicks a 72-yard punt, one shy of the Seattle record of Rick Tootin, 73. First down at the 13. LT runs into heavy traffic at the 15-yard line. Short gain. Michael Boulware, that safety plan right up on the line of scrimmage.
You know, real quick, Dick, on that last play, you know, remember we talked about you can't line up over the center and then hit the center on the extra points and field goals and stuff, and they got away with one there.
Yeah, they did.
They clearly did, but I tell you, it's been Michael Boulware. We haven't talked enough about, you know, the former Florida State Seminole and the job that he's done in this run defense. Now the question is, if he keeps sticking his nose up there, they have got to make him pay with an Antonio Gates pass.
Tomlinson with only 26 yards rushing on 9 tries. We're at the 7:51 mark here, and the throw to Neal and another drop. So the receivers for Philip Rivers have not exactly been kind either, as Rivers now is 0 for 8. 2 of those clear drops, one by LT and now by Lorenzo Neal.
Dick, you're talking about Antonio Gates. He was man-on-man with Leroy Hill, the linebacker, 56. 30, 40 yards down the field. Hill was running with him stride for stride. Rivers had nowhere to go. That's where he wanted to go, was deep down the middle.
He sends Jackson to the right. McCardell to the left. Shotgun on 3rd down and 8. They rush only 4 this time. Rivers fires down the middle, almost intercepted again. Kelly Herndon had his hands on another. That's the 2nd in the half, intended for Antonio Gates, and off the mark. 0 for 9 now for Rivers.
And this is about a quarterback who's just a little bit off and a little bit rushing, and how much you can really throw an offense off. Antonio Gates is there and open. That ball needs to be on his left armpit, away from the defender, and instead it's right inside where the only guy that can touch it is the defensive back.
Top team in the league in scoring, San Diego. Held, no points, 5 punts, 2 first downs. Cypher's kick to Burleson at the 38. Gets away at the 40, 45, and then out of bounds at the 46-yard line. So Seattle with the ball again. We're at the midpoint of the second quarter. Chargers, Seahawks, no score. Rain intensifies a bit here in Seattle as the Seahawks have the ball on the exchange of kicks at their own 46-yard line, and Philip Rivers in a wondering mode. He was very upset with himself. He's very competitive last week and showed it throwing his helmet in the Kansas City game, but he said there were no consequences. We won 20-9. How about today? He's been shut out. Not Hasselbeck, who completes it to Hackett, and he's bumped out of bounds at the Charger 47-yard line. The scorers come in, and we go to JB in New York.
And Dick and Randy, let's see how it happened for Denver again. A Chad Johnson fumble gives the Broncos the ball. Jay Cutler makes them pay. Take a look at this throw. Hook up there with Javon Walker, 39 yards. It is now 14-7 Denver on top of Cincy. Dick, Randy.
Thanks, JB. Well, that was Elway-esque as Alexander tries to sweep wide left and is brought down after no gain as Terrence Keel and Stephen Cooper. Was Cooper playing today at that inside backer spot? 2 starters not in uniform for San Diego. Randall Godfrey being replaced by Cooper, and Cesare for Castillo. Cesare with a sack, maybe a sack and a half as they sort it out officially. Max Strong now, the fullback, with tight end Stevens in motion. 3rd and 3. Hasselbeck rolling, throws, incomplete. Good coverage by San Diego's defense. Hasselbeck had nowhere to go, and of course the field shrinking as he rolled to the right, and the Charger defense shifting with him.
Well, a smart job by Hasselbeck, though. Why try to force one? You know your defense is playing very good. You know they've got the other quarterback on a little bit of a reverse roll at so far kind of an offer. He struggled last week, did the young quarterback Rivers. Why do something dumb and give them good field position and momentum?
Here's Ryan Plekemeyer, who had that beautiful 72-yarder. This one is punched high and a fair catch for McCardell at the 14-yard line. So the Chargers have it back deep in their own end. Reminder, you've seen the Stars dance, but you've never seen them bust criminals until now. See what happens when real celebrities become real cops. Armed and Famous, coming in January to CBS. Well, the Chargers have the ball for the 6th time, and the first 5 repetitive punt to punt to punt to punt to punt.
And it directly leads to 2 conversations. One is the job that defense is doing on LT. The others is the lack of poise and success so far out of Philip Rivers, a quarterback.
Neal, the fullback, is lined up far to the left, and now they bring him in motion to the inside. And here's LT following Neal and gets some daylight. 25-30 in the clear at the 35. 2 men chase at the 50. Tomlinson running out of gas and steps out of bounds at the Seattle 25-yard line. So held in check through the major portion of this first half. We're at the 6-minute mark in the second quarter, and then finally, as he did against Kansas City with an 85-yard touchdown run, he reels in a 62-yard effort.
Well, you want a key? Follow your fullback and see where he's going. Lorenzo Neal, one of the best that's ever done it. Nice lead block, great run. The old saying for Alka-Seltzer, plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. It's all about LT. He's the relief they like.
Takes Chargers into Seattle territory, their deepest penetration, and Michael Turner giving LT a breather. And Turner, all he's done is come in for relief, and that gained 415 yards and average 6.4. But here's LT into open daylight.
Well, and the reason there's open daylight is they didn't have their fits on defense. Seattle's done a very nice job of occupying each gap. No matter how well Lorenzo Neal and the offensive line is blocked, there's been a Seattle Seahawks defender in the gap until that last play.
Turner, number 33, stays in. Tomlinson catching some air on the sidelines. 2nd down and short 7. Hand off to Turner. Cuts back inside and powers his way down close to the 16. Bryce Fisher with a tackle. Well, it's been a declining report card for young Philip Rivers.
Yeah, it's hard not to like this kid. He's a coach's son, and he's got the great attitude, and he's fiery, and he's got a wonderful arm and a good football head. But he's going to become more and more of a topic of conversation as we move closer to January for these teams, because these San Diego Chargers have seen a couple teams with good records go one and done in the playoffs, and they don't want to see that out of their Chargers this year.
Now, Rivers has no chance to get a playoff here, so the Chargers, Marty Schottenheimer, use a timeout at the 4:32 mark. San Diego threatening to get on the board. And welcome back to Seattle, and happy holidays, everyone, from all of us at CBS Sports. Dick Enberg, Randy Cross, our producer Bob Monsbach, Suzanne Smith, our director. 3rd down and 3 Chargers at the Seattle 17-yard line. LT is back in the game. And he takes the toss and has running room. 20, 15, 10, and out of bounds with the first down as Ken Hamlin there, the safety for the Seahawks.
LaDainian Tomlinson is so hard to contain. All he has to do is give you that little fake, that little Barry Sanders wiggle. You asked him yesterday, how come you're doing it more? He says, well, I'm getting better blocking. He's all by himself against Leroy Hill, the outside linebacker. And once he gives that little wiggle, Hill's gone. I mean, once he stops and causes hesitation, he's got too much speed. He's out of your sight.
After being held in check most of this first half, suddenly Tomlinson with 94 yards rushing. First down at the 11. Back to LT. And he has bulldogged down inside the 10-yard line. And a good effort from Ken Hamlin coming up from the secondary. You saw Leroy Hill there get a piece of him, but Tomlinson, had it not been for Hamlin, looked as if he might get his balance and go into the end zone.
And that gentleman right there and that line is the reason that Philip Rivers can have those diminishing numbers and they still win. You know, the bottom line is your job is to win as a quarterback, and they've won those 8 straight or so in a manner that's been fabulous, and it's been all about the offense other than the quarterback at times, and that's okay with Philip Rivers.
Chargers going with 2 tight ends and only 1 wide receiver, and that's Jackson. And Rivers looking for Jackson, looking for somebody. Throws for Jackson. Touchdown. He ran the entire width of the end zone while Rivers bought time, and no one stayed on tight coverage. And Vincent Jackson has his 4th touchdown of the season.
That end zone's got a shield of the NFL. It says Seahawks, and there's a Seahawk head. Vincent Jackson started about the K and started running across the end zone. Watch that. He's at the K. W, A, H, A, S. Gets all the way to the shield. And that was about protection. Philip Rivers dropped about 15 yards deep, and no one got near him.
So Rivers says in his defense, as the extra point is delivered by Nate Kading, so I only completed 1 pass in the first half. So what's the score? 7-0, 9 yards to Jackson. Vincent Jackson, who played at Northern Colorado, only got a partial scholarship there with the Bears in Greeley, and is at 6'5" and 241. Quite a target. Was tough not to see him. He was the only wide receiver in the pattern.
Well, and Philip Rivers, the protection was amazing. Remember, we talked about them not biting on the play action. They didn't even get off the line of scrimmage until about the 3rd, 4th second, and you even get up into Philip Rivers' face, even attempt to try to get a block him. I think Rocky Bernard was the closest Seahawk to him, and it just took him too long to get to Philip Rivers.
86 yards in 6 plays for the 9-yard touchdown. The big run. LT's 62-yard scamper around the right side. Oh, Nate Burleson, the deepest man at the 5, as Kading has it teed up for San Diego with 3:18 left in this first half. Kick short to the 9. Burleson tackled from the side at the 27-yard line by Clinton Hart, who had an interception earlier in this game.
There's Rocky Bernard coming here from the defensive tackle position, but watch the protection, and this whole area is wide open for Philip Rivers. He's sit and look, and finally Bernard comes free, but you know, it's about results. Last week it was a long 55-yarder to Jackson that kind of burst open that Kansas City game. And here late in the first half, the same result and the same combination.
Sean Alexander behind Max Strong, and Hasselbeck gets away from the rush, fires over the middle, incomplete. A flag is down, however. Stevens unable to pull that one in, but the flag is in the secondary of the Chargers.
Yeah, it's going to be illegal contact. I believe there was a less than friendly bump on Stevens.
Illegal contact. Number 59 defense. A 5-yard penalty and a first down.
Donnie Edwards, who's one of the better pass defenders in the NFL and has been for a long time, had his hands on a couple today and created an interception. That was Stephen Cooper that was close to Hasselbeck and was cartwheeled as he was knocked down on a good low block, and that saved the quarterback. First down at the 33 and a flag down.
And Cooper was coming back for seconds too.
Ball start. Offense number 62. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Chris Gray playing in his 121st consecutive start for Seattle, a record. Passed Cortez Kennedy's 100 a long time ago. Cooper playing for Randall Godfrey, and Godfrey's done a good job when they change it up and they put the pressure from the center. Here's Alexander, picks his hole, gets to the 34-yard line. Olshansky and Cooper in on the tackle. Coming up on the Sprint halftime report, JB and company, they're all set. They've got not only the NFL scores and the top highlights of this day, but a closer look at the playoff picture coming up on the Sprint halftime report. You can almost add a half-hour report on the playoffs. Who's out, who's in, who's almost out, who stays alive. Second down and long. Hasselbeck throws, open over the middle and complete. Deion Branch and a first down near midfield at the 47-yard line. Marlon McCree, the tackle. And clock runs at 2:23, 2:22.
Plenty of time left. You've got a full complement of 3 timeouts if you're Seattle, and you've got the 2-minute stoppage, so no need to rush here.
Hasselbeck, the pump fake, and then he throws underneath. Alexander tackled immediately. As coming up to make the stop was Donnie Edwards. And this will take it to the 2-minute warning here at the Quest in Seattle, where the Chargers have the only score. 2 minutes to go, second game of our doubleheader. So much to share, but you'll get all the highlights. Sprint halftime report and JB and company coming up on the Sprint halftime report. Ball at the 47-yard line, Seattle territory, second down and 9. As the Seahawks trying to answer the Charger touchdown before the intermission. Alexander in a split backfield, and Hasselbeck going deep down the middle and incomplete. A diving try by Bobby Ingram. And a tough catch, could not pull it in. Drayton Florence covering, but Hasselbeck wanted his man to catch it. He thought he could have left his feet and pulled that one in.
Well, you look at these 2 quarterbacks, Dick, there's 2 things that stand out to me. One is Phillip Rivers, 1 completion, 1 touchdown. That's a pretty good quarterback rating in my book. I don't care about the other 9 incompletions, but Hasselbeck's been sacked 4 times.
You go 1 for 10, you still get a 72 rating?
Yeah, well, yeah. You don't think that's a quarterback-friendly system, do you?
Oh, boy, those statistics can tell you. And he's throwing it in. All right, third down and 9. Chargers showing blitz. Hasselbeck has time, throws over the middle. Ingram got this one, and it's a first down inside the 37-yard line. Away from Clinton Hart. Clock running, 1:44. Seahawks have all 3 timeouts.
Yeah, you got a veteran group, too. A couple young guys in there, but a veteran group offensively. A lot of poise on this team.
And San Diego calls time. They were having trouble getting men on and mostly off the field. Marty calls timeout. Just checking the referee, Ron Witter. It looks as if he's going to the hood. Of course, from upstairs, they can ask for a replay and a challenge on perhaps that last catch. And there's Josh Brown. He's had a fantastic, dramatic year. Ron Witter indicating that he's going to check this last play. Did it hit the ground? Oh, that's a good catch.
Good catch and good spot, actually. That might be what they're checking on, is where the contact was and where the spot should be for the first down, but I think it'll be a non-factor actually.
Looks as if they're putting the ball right on the 42 where he went down. Again, if you're just joining us, the San Diego Chargers have never won 9 in a row. They've got 8 in a row here from Marty Schottenheimer, leading the league in scoring and sacks. They've not scored much, but they've shown you the sack power. 54 starting, and they've got 4 in the first half today. And Schottenheimer 2 wins away from 200 in the regular season for Marty, now in his 5th year, 62 years of age, college linebacker. He played in the college all-star game. He was a good linebacker.
Well, they're reviewing actually the catch, and actually they had questions live as to whether or not it was a catch and exactly where the spot should be.
1:36 left in this first half, and Mike Holmgren, whose team has struggled the last couple of weeks to score, and losing to Arizona and to San Francisco.
Well, he's got the ball there. He's got the ball there. He has the ball the whole way, so it would seem to be a non-factor. That ball never gets a chance to get on the ground, because as a good veteran would do, Ingram immediately turns his body and keeps the ball away from the ground.
He's really been a solid player through the years, quietly so. There have been others that have taken the headlines because of more catches or more touchdowns. Darrell Jackson being the man this year, although he's certainly not in this game. Jackson has 10 touchdowns this season, and Ingram, with his thyroid problem, really sidelined most of the year.
The ruling on the field stands. It is a catch. San Diego requested a timeout. It is their second team charged timeout.
But that isn't the reason Marty Schottenheimer called time. He had about 13 men on the field. They had to avoid a penalty.
About 7 yards, Dick. The wind's blowing in this direction, so 7 more yards. They're in field goal range for Brown.
Alexander has some room. 40, 30 to the 26-yard line, and they love that in Seattle. Hurry to the line of scrimmage with 1:20 left. 16-yard run by Alexander.
All 3 timeouts still left.
Hasselbeck looking for something big. He wanted to go long. Instead goes underneath, and is it intercepted by Hart again? He's at the 5, the 10. They haven't said it was incomplete, and Hart to the 15-yard line. The ball over the outstretched hands of the receiver, Bobby Ingram, and went right to Hart. And if so, that'll be the second deflection interception for Hart in this first half.
What a difference. Last year, Hasselbeck could do no wrong. This year, it's been plays like this. Way too high to Ingram. Perhaps, yes, he should have caught it, but deflected it into Hart's hands. Now, my question is, does it ever hit the ground here? Was that an interception? Because it looks like the ball has contact with the ground right there as his head hits the ground.
That will be reviewed undoubtedly.
But Hasselbeck has had one, we talk about the injuries and games missed and everything else.
No, finally Ron Winter waves just as the Chargers ready to snap the ball, and this one will be reviewed. This is a big call. As Seattle in threatening position, at least for a field goal. There's the deflection. He has it there, but did he have his hands underneath the ball when it?
The ball can't touch the ground. You've got to have it. And I don't know. Take one more look from this angle. See if you can get a peek around the corner here as he goes to the ground. There's nothing there. It would appear when his head hit the ground, it kept the ball from hitting the ground, and his arm kind of shields it when he brings it in.
So the review continues with 1:02 left in the half. Ron Winter with contact upstairs, as this is not a coach's challenge. The final 2 minutes of the half. We have 62 seconds left. The Chargers, if the play is not overruled, have it at the 15, If it is ruled an incomplete pass, then Matt Hasselbeck, already in the hood, will come out and have a chance to move his team toward a possible tying score.
He knows it won't be reviewed. I mean, Matt Hasselbeck last year in a complete season had 9 interceptions. This year, in very much an incomplete season because he missed those weeks with the knee injury, that'll be his 15th interception.
Only 9 all of last year. We get news from the San Diego side that Marcus McNeil, their outstanding rookie left tackle, has gone to the locker room with a stinger.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. It is an interception. First down.
So Clinton Hart, the right man in the right spot today. On 2 deflections, he has a couple of picks.
Well, what did Hasselbeck tell us the other day? You know, you throw an interception, you throw a pick, you lose the game, you got to say so what and go back and do it again.
Chargers with a 7-0 lead and only 1 timeout left. Figure not to take any chances here at their own 15. Tomlinson in the backfield, and here's Neal in motion to come in to block for him. Off that left side, and veteran Roman Oben, who has been the starter for the Chargers at left tackle for the last several years and injured, was unable to start the season, and that gave McNeil, the rookie from Auburn, a chance to start. McNeil has been one of the big surprises in this very successful San Diego year, but Oben's in for him now. Welcome back on second down. Tomlinson now has hit the 100-yard mark for the 9th consecutive game, and there's the 3rd false start as Shane Olivier, the right tackle, didn't hear the count.
False start. Offense number 70. 5-yard penalty. It remains second down.
So that's 24 false starts committed by the opposition here in Seattle this year. Most in the league, matches the 24 that was tops here in Seattle last year.
Isn't it amazing though, Dick? The Danian Thompson has over 100 yards. Wasn't he just getting stopped about 4 carries ago?
That 62-yard run did boost it up, didn't it? Jackson, the touchdown maker, in motion. Back to Tomlinson. And he's protecting the ball as he hits the ground at the 14. Lofa Tutupu, his dad Mosey, who was an outstanding fullback and special team star with the Patriots for so many years. He's here to root his son on. And Tutupu, 2 years in the league, out of Southern California, 2 trips to Honolulu. That was Pro Bowler against Pro Bowler. There's Mosey. Boy, the likeness of father and son is incredible. They look like twins. Mosey looks as if he'd go out there and knock you down, as he did in the days of Steve Grogan, the quarterback.
Man, Lofa Tutupu, really a heady player. Isn't making the spectacular plays he made last year as a rookie, but is no less important to this defense. Really has held that front 7 together this whole season.
Said he feels better playing lighter at 235. So 1 timeout left for Seattle. They're figuring to get the ball back here, with the Chargers looking at 3rd and 10. Tomlinson, nothing there up the middle, gets a couple, and stuffed as Seattle spends its final timeout with 44 seconds showing. Darryl Tapp, the rookie from Virginia Tech, in on that last tackle along with Tutupu.
We mentioned about the Pro Bowl here in Seattle. It was a lot less plentiful. Not as many lays being handed out this Tuesday when the Pro Bowl was announced, but Julian Peterson, big free agent acquisition, has been a huge plus for this football team and was awarded accordingly. And Max Strong, like Lorenzo Neal, a guy that is sort of a dead lost position in this league, is that ability to be a fullback, a real true fullback.
Yeah, lunch pail, blue collar, and I think every coach in the league applauded the picking of Neal and Strong, because they really do the unheralded job of leading the way for a star. All right, here's Cyphers. Will they come after him? Nate Burleson back at the 40. Well, they're going to try for the return. A driving kick, very returnable. The 38-yard line. Burleson looking for a block. Oh, what an open field tackle. As streaking downfield was Matt Wilhelm and Tim Dobbins. It was Dobbins who got the ankle and tripped him up back at the 40-yard line. A rookie Dobbins, who hasn't seen a lot of regular duty, but on the special teams is second in tackles. He's Iowa State rookie, a 5th-round pick.
There's Dobbins right there, 51, just denying the edge, because the edge was there. You saw that desperation in Burleson. He knew he had something set up if he could just get to the edge. And Dobbins, with that kind of speed and that sort of penetration, just ruined that return.
So out comes Matt Hasselbeck, operating with no timeouts, we thought. 34-second showing. Hasselbeck gets away from pressure, throws upfield, incomplete, and almost another carom that went for an interception as Deion Branch had it briefly.
Now isn't the team that plays in the rain and plays in the wind and the cold and in the cold, windy Northwest supposed to be the team that holds on to these balls? Because these deflections and drops are killing this offense. You get your hands on it in this league, it ought to be a catch 90% of the time.
Passing yards, Seattle with only 9, but that was good for the 9-yard touchdown, their only completion. 28 seconds now left in the half. Strong at fullback. Hasselbeck steps away from the pressure again, gets it off, and almost complete. Branch drops it again. And that was a terrific throw as Hasselbeck cleared 2 Charger defenders. Cromartie, who is a tall rookie corner at 6'2", couldn't get up for it, and he may have blocked the vision of Branch, who seemed to be fooled by how quickly the ball was there.
That was very, very catchable. That's called, if he missed it, he took his eyes off it, and that's more inexcusable than just dropping it. Why would you ever take your eyes off football? I don't care if there's arms and people waving all over the place.
3rd down and 10. Chargers almost offside. Deep drop this time. Hasselbeck fires it long to the far sidelines and no one there. So with 17 seconds left, it's 4th and 10. Fans are unhappy.
Did you see who caught that pass? That's a guy that's caught a lot of passes in this league. James Lofton.
He was the assistant coach, receivers coach.
And Matt Hasselbeck doesn't quite see the humor in that, as you would expect. But
there's James Lofton, who was down to the final few for the Stanford University job that came open, and Jim Harbaugh, University of San Diego coach, received that job. Here's McCardell, 20, fumbled earlier, and he makes sure he doesn't get hit and lose it here as he drops at about the 24. 6 seconds left, 1 kneel down for Rivers, and here are the Chargers, most ever for them to make the Pro Bowl. 9, count them 9, including Phillip Rivers, and some scratching their head. How did Rivers get to Honolulu ahead of Tom Brady?
Well, a lot of it is the team. You know, that's the knee-jerk reaction usually. And honestly, there were guys like Marcus McNeil that could have been voted there. Another guy like Donnie Edwards, I think, had that kind of a season that could have been a Pro Bowler. Chris Dielman, the left tackle, or left guard, could have been a Pro Bowler.
Marty really campaigned for Dielman. He loves Dielman's nastiness, left guard. There's the final play of this first half, with San Diego leading the Seahawks 7-0. We'll be back with a Sprint halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 41.